just me or is there spinach over here? There's spaghetti models and empty rum bottles, and sometimes Louis says hi. Hey, Louis. But you don't get no hurries and don't have no worries, cause we're drunk donkey nationwide. Everybody now. Flies where the page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's flies where the page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Did I ever tell you the story of the drunk donkey? Once upon a time, there was this weather woman. You can come as a pilot, you stay kind of quiet, but you know you love watching mice play. So put your cone head shirt on, watch it live on your phone, and drink drunk donkey beer all day. You know that mice wear the page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's mice wear the page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Is that Blobby Bobby? I think that's Juicy Jerry. Yeah, Mike, throw a party, man.
Good, good morning. All right, so I wanted to let the dog. Oh my goodness, that's Longo. He he's making me laugh. Louis will hold his bone, and Longo wants the bone, so he just prounces, jumping around Louis trying to get the bone, and he's just like, "Rah, rah." And I always laugh because Hunter can never bark. So I think Hunter's now living inside of Longo, and he's barking because Hunter could never bark. So I'll leave him bark for a minute, and then Julie's going to have to get him. He's in gremlin mode right now. Anyway, so how's it going, everybody? Happy Friday, TGIF, if it is your Friday. All right, that's enough. Can you grab him? Yeah, it's Friday. Hopefully for some of y'all. Did y'all see the ABC commercial drop yesterday? The MWP Colada? That was pretty awesome. I told everybody about it weeks ago. We had a really good time making it. So that was definitely cool of ABC to do that. So big shout out to them. Really appreciate it. Here's Louie. The OG! Oh, what was that dog doing to you? Man. Longo just won't leave this old man alone.
He's happy now because he's got the bone.
Oh, he's got the bone now, so he won't bark now. Oh, it is Friday, right? Okay. Mary Ann, I got me confused there. How's Tallahassee doing? What's up, Karen? How you been? How you keeping James in line, I hope? What's up, Richard Kelly? Definitely watching Carolina, the S Tabletop Greek. We're not turning our backs on Erin at all. Cape Coral going to be affected by hurricane. Not this one. Sorry, Alexa. Everybody's dogs are barking now. Alexa, can you bark?
Okay, here's Woof. Sorry, I'm having trouble accessing your Woof. Skill right now.
No, Alexa, can you sound like a dog? There you go.
There are lots of dogs
Okay,
that are
stop.
affected by your barks. Do you want them to stay if your dog
Quiet. Alexa, stop. Oh, anyway. So we got a lot to talk about yet. We got other waves coming. It is August, September. We're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about Erin. We got Invest 98 cooking there in the golf. Alexa, stop talking. Alexa, stop it. Okay. God, we fight all the time. Thank you, Amanda. Morning from Massachusetts. Dogs look like owners. I'm afraid. Hey, Longo's going to look like me, or I'm going to look like Longo because he's even got a little white spot on his chin. So, I know everybody's Alexas are going off. Sorry. Oh, opinion of the latest GFS run. Well, two things right there. Long range runs are very hard to believe. They show a pattern, and it's the GFS. Okay. So don't take it. Don't go to Vegas and bet on the latest GFS run. That's for sure. Oh, so anyway, we're coming to you live from Oldsmar, Florida. My name is Mike. We've been streaming live since 2016. Welcome. I am not a meteorologist. Welcome to all the new folks out there. We're growing. Just want to do my disclaimer to let everybody know that. Try not to hype, try not to fear monger, but some people still think I do, and that's okay. You can find other sources that are more your style, but I work hard on not doing that. And there you go. Everybody's Alexa's going off. So yeah, we're gonna talk into everything here. So Louis, why don't you say goodbye? I'll tell you what. Let me try to find a screenshot. Oh, my stomach's. I always take everything. Let's see. I got a bunch of the cool windows open here. I don't know which one. I want to do a screenshot with Louis. This is the one we're gonna do right here. All right, Louis. Let's look over here. Louis, go over there. No, let's do it with your hat on. Then we're gonna put them down and get right into the weather. No, you know what you do. You leave this on your head. Stay. Now look right here. Look. This dog was made to model. All right, now stay. Now look right here. Okay. Love you, buddy. All right, so here we go. We'll say a lot of hellos for sure, and get into it. Heck yeah. So, yep. I did make a little post this morning on something. I had a interesting discussion. I would like to say it since everybody's tuned in right now. You know, I did a post 5 days ago about Irma. Someone didn't approve of that, and I sincerely apologize to those that did not like my Irma reference. I made it clear in the text. The context had nothing to do with comparing the two. It was talking about how storms can catch you off guard, you know, and I've shared the story a bazillion times, but people up in the Panhandle told me so many times that the first forecast came out as a tropical storm, they just turned their backs on Michael, and next thing you know, they got a Cat 5 breathing down their neck. You know, folks during Ian just a couple years ago told me the same thing, that it was going to the Panhandle. They thought, you know, the cone, when it was time to evacuate, it was too late. They didn't have a plan. They didn't have gas. The roads were jammed up. So, you know, it's important to keep up with the weather, and that was the point of the Irma post, and some people didn't like it. So I don't know, but I tracked it. We tracked it together. It was not meant to fear anybody. And you know what? When Katrina happened, there was a bazillion posts sharing Katrina. There's going to be a bazillion posts about Andrew. So there you go. But just want to throw that out there. All right, weather. What's all that orange stuff? Guess what? The heat's coming back. That means high pressure. That means a block for Erin. Erin cannot come towards this high pressure. So this orange is actual Erin repellent. And I'll be at Daytona next week, by the way. You can come by the campsite. Hey, by the way, you know, I found this in the garage looking for the stickers. This was a little magnet I bought from the Dominican Republic. So I was there, and that's why we talked. But come by my campsite, and we got new stickers now. We got those stickers, and then the OGs, and a koozie. So if you come by the campsite and you see Mike's webpage, don't be afraid to come by. Just don't judge if I'm enjoying some ABC stuff. All right, there's that. Hazardous heat's coming back into play. This is next week. This is, like I said, high pressure coming in, makes a block, more than likely helping Erin turn, likely making Erin turn. Notice all this green stuff, though. We're going to have a little weakness because of that front. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but because of the high pressure, we also have low pressure in between, pushing that Bermuda high off to the east a little bit, allowing this door opening. Thing you worry about is if that high pressure whips back around Erin and builds, and if the next wave comes below it, this high might end up back merging with the Atlantic high. Once Erin leaves, that would be the scenario of a lower riding system, which kind of showing up on some of the future maps, okay? The next few days, there we go. Jet stream pattern to the north. Everything's kind of pushing that direction. Again, this whole pattern's helping break down that Bermuda high just a little bit, keeping that opening for Erin to escape off to the northeast. But this tomorrow looks like a whale. We got a whale. That's today. Here's tomorrow. And here is Sunday. So there's all your storms next 3 days. Tropics, here we go. So we got this little spot here called Invest 98. We watched this thing. Remember, it was down here in Central America like 2 days ago, man. It was the most impressive blob. And it's been following that flow. And it's looking pretty healthy now. So I already got people in our brew crew that over in Texas. Judy saying it's raining from Invest 98. Deb's wearing the shirt. That's awesome. Who do I got winning the Coke Zero? God, I would love Hocevar to win. I'm just starting to like that kid. Probably Logano. He's always awesome on restrictor plates. Recon. There you go. Thanks, Adam, for the real-time update there. We're going to have Hurricane Erin, it looks like. TikTok sellout. Man, I tell you, TikTok is growing like crazy. Alfredo Barrel. Let me tell you, that was the most intense Cat 1 I've ever been in. So every storm's different. For sure. I'm doing a special thing with Pinellas County EOC today. We've got a bunch of videos I'll be filming, helping educate and help folks here in our county. So I was very honored that they asked me to come down there. So I'm going to be having to dress up here in a little bit and head down to Pinellas County EOC. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Squirrel in the UK. What time is it over in the UK? We're going to be by Red 38, Angel. There you go. Shalene watching on YouTube. 2:30 Squirrel. That Shelly's already Googling. Cool. All right, so let's talk about it. All right, I got a lot of cool stuff. Here's my little map this morning. Yes, the high pressure over the U.S. is the wrong direction, but the reason for the arrow is showing you the steering currents. That was the point of the arrow. The strong Bermuda high over the Atlantic is usually a little bit more this way, which would have allowed Erin to keep going off towards the Caribbean. But because we have this front coming down right now, which you saw yesterday, there's a lot of low pressure juice. You can see it on the lower levels, but this high is going to build back in and it's going to push, and we're going to have a gap. And when we have that gap, that's so classic. This Erin's going to slow down. It's going to expand. It's going to rotate around that high pressure system and hopefully miss Bermuda, and it's going to get on out of here. That's probably what's going to happen. I made a lot of road references. Hopefully the GPS isn't wrong and we have any detours. The 98's actually showing up as a tiny little circle south of Texas. So we'll get into that too. Here's what a radar looks like. This is, I think it's Brownsville radar. I have it on the website now and on the app. Let me make sure it went live on the app. I never check. I always forget to check. Oh, there it is, radar. See? Make sure it works. The button. Let's go. 2 seconds. Bear with me. Close out my 15,000 tabs open here. Erin. Oh, wrong storm. Invest 98. That's what the radar. There it is. Radar. They used to call me Radar when I was a kid. All right, so it's got a little spin to it. Yeah, and we got some storms out there brewing. These little red heights showing you that. So, this is all the way to Corpus Christi area. So this is kind of going that way. They're sneaky. I wanted to share a rain map yesterday. Here's my thought process. Just assumed it was going to bring a lot of rain because it's a blob. It's in the Gulf. It's feeding off that warm Bay of Campeche, peachy, however you say it. You say tomato, I say tomato. And then I couldn't find a rain map that showed any rain because these homegrown systems aren't even picked up by modeling. You watch these in real time. So it doesn't have time to really deepen into a low pressure, but it does have time to be sneaky tropical storm maybe. We could be seeing that. hurricane hunters are going out there. We got a little spinach there. You can see it wrapping a little bit. So here's what it looks like on the satellite. Some of y'all say it's scary, but it's, it's a blob. We get Texas blobs. It's crazy. It's really fascinating, honestly. This thing was 2 days ago down by Central America. We showed it, and the next day, they marked it. It crossed the Yucatan, and there you go. It's not a Harvey. It's not, but it is always worth watching. It's at 50% chance from the National Hurricane Center. But again, time is not on its side. TropicalTidbits.com modeling, here you go. By this time tomorrow, it might already be into land. So it's got a strong low-level flow. Steering winds are extremely strong, so it's not going to stall or anything. Weaker systems are driven by lower-level winds, and you can see this right here. There's a lot of strong winds coming out of the south. But, there you go. That's the flow. There's your little dot, and that's what we got. That's what we got, so we'll leave it at that. What else we got here? So there's your latest spaghetti models. Let me close that out. Now, here is the latest on, I guess, now Hurricane Erin. I know you're in the islands, okay? Holy cow, it's so close. It's starting to lift, okay? I've tried through all the noise to at least focus on a daily post showing these feeder bands over the weekend impacting probably the islands, the Virgin Islands, the northern part of the island, the Lesser Antilles there, Puerto Rico, yes. So might be tropical storm warnings, but y'all are used to that. It's moving kind of quick. It's still kind of a small storm. I'll put the Puerto Rico radar up on the website soon because that'll show it passing by to the north, hopefully. But y'all are used to this, right? I mean, I'm not going to tell you what you already, I'm not going to overhype feeder bands. Now, if this was more of a direct hit, it'd be a little different story, but at least the core appears to go to the north. And I know you looking at this thing, it looks like it's going due west. I always reference back to Dorian. Everybody was glued to the monitors for days because it just didn't seem how this thing could stop and then go north, but that's what we got. So, hey, look at that, Tampa Pete. I like your name, Tampa Pete. What's up, Bobby? We have a little song for Texas Blob, I think. I had a shirt one time. Jacksonville, what's up? How's everybody doing? Anybody else going to Daytona? 2:30. Look at that, squirrel. Is that AM or PM? Probably AM, right? No? Yes, AM. Blobs and squirrel shirt, yep. Morning, Kelly. Happy Friday, Michael Anderson. Ace Man's home, not feeling good. You're welcome, Joe. Diane watching from the St. Thomas, Laredo, Texas. Awesome. Going to Daytona, Gus, Tuesday after our daily brew. Nobody should put the shutters up. Sheila, not in the U.S. at least. Continental U.S. Melissa's going to Daytona. Yeah, we're going to talk about the latest GFS, Ari. But listen, it's so far away. But I did make a little tease yesterday on a post. The ensembles are showing the next wave to watch. And it might be, getting down in that Caribbean area the following weekend. So we're going to get into that. Just have patience. When should we go to Daytona? I don't know. Were you camping? There we go. All right, let's talk about it. All right, so there you go. Everybody wants to know what's next. Let's get on with it. I know. All right, here's tropical key messages from the NHC. I have these linked on the app and on the website. Very important information. Everything is in a nutshell. Uncertainty of the impacts for Bahamas, East Coast of the U.S. Now, see, when they say the East Coast of the U.S., they rope in rip currents, waves, beach erosion. It doesn't appear that this is going to make a direct hit. Okay, now, yes, Outer Banks, those type of areas that are, used to these passing big hurricanes could see some problems with waves, and we're going to show you how it's going to expand. The storm is going to get bigger, and we're going to see some massive waves in that middle Atlantic. There's the latest track. We're going to have a new one at 11. I guess it's Hurricane Erin now. Makes a lot of sense. The road map I posted. Did a little rant yesterday. A couple of my weather buddies. I hope you didn't take offense to it. I just personally got so tired of every update. Breaking news, west. Breaking news, goes west again. Breaking news, west again. I mean, it did go west again. But you know what? When you have a cone storms are always going to go a little bit one way or the other. So yes, it was going west, and this is probably where I've changed over the years. I know the feeling of people when they see west, breaking news west, you just assume all of a sudden Florida or East Coast. I mean, so that's kind of why I maybe was a little Debbie Downer on a lot of these, because I didn't believe in it. And I've shared a bazillion times. I post things that I believe in, and I share comments when I believe things that might not be right, but I knew if I kept sharing it's bumping west, the assumption's going to be made. Oh boy, and that isn't the messaging that I wanted to make. So, yes, the old Mike probably would have said west again, but that's because I didn't understand probably steering maps, and I didn't believe future modeling. Me, I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about me. So anyway, this is hopefully the path. Hopefully splits the gap for Bermuda and obviously the East Coast, in the Bahamas. But it's going to be a big major hurricane, and it's going to be wide. And a lot of people just don't feel comfortable until it passes, and I'm there with you. All right, here's the latest spaghetti models on tropical tidbits. Even the hurricane models now have adjusted, okay? Remember that graphic I showed you a couple days ago? There's an awesome Brian Tang graphic I'll show you that tracks performance. And the number one question I get a lot of times is, what model's performing the best? Well, I'm going to show you a website that tracks each storm, what model's performing the best at that time. And the Haas models were not performing very well at all with track. And to be honest with you, over the years, they're more of an intensity model, I've found. I don't think track-wise they're always that great. The Google AI did really well with this storm, I will admit. It did well with Milton. It didn't do well with formation, but it did well with track so far, predicting this gap turn. So there you go. But anyway, there's Bermuda. They're going to get skirted, it looks like. You're used to it. They're built for this. Remember, they don't deal with a lot of surge there. They have deep waters all around. They don't have shallow shelf waters, which really builds surge. So they're used to it. Hopefully it's no direct hit. Right? There you go. I don't know what more to say than that. TropicalTidbits.com, by the way. Levi's putting out a video today. Here's weathernerds.org, Matt's site. This is your ensembles. I could not believe the GFS this morning. It just tells you... remember all those runs last week that we were having to hit the Gulf, the U.S., Mexico. Pretty darn tight. Now listen, there are still people posting. Obviously this is several days away. Nothing's set in stone ever. But you look at what's presented to you at that moment, and you don't react to knee-jerk reactions. Okay. A couple days ago, the Euro 12Z, one run made the whole internet panic. Not panic, a lot of folks, I think, shared it because it is, gets a lot of engagement. It was one run. We don't react on one run. Models flip-flop, they windshield wiper. You got to look at the whole pattern, the reason things are happening, the frontal line. I mean, I look back, we were talking about this front a week ago that came across that weakened. It opened the door, basically. So, anyway, there's that. Here's intensity models. I usually don't share these, but it's because they bounce around. But they are predicting 3 possible Category 4. So, again, everybody's wrapped up in how many named storms we get a season. Wouldn't it be great if this system doesn't hit anybody, but it takes away one of the major hurricanes that we might have this season, right? It might be a monster. Here's that site. One more I want to show you. My buddy Joe gave me this one. This is a cool site. I love it. It's linked right here. Multi-model diagnostics right here. Multi-model comparison, actually. It just shows you what the latest model trends are. And there you go. So sea surface temperature is expected to climb, and moisture in the air is supposed to increase. All this stuff is supposed to help our system intensify. Your Haas models now are getting back in line with everybody else. So there's your trend. Highly unlikely this thing is going to do anything else. Here's the Brian Tang website. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I don't know if it was live last year, but it's live again this year. But this TVCN is usually what the NHC goes off of. It's a computer-generated blend of a bunch of stuff. It's a plethora of models put together into one line. It's a consensus model. and it's been right on par. Now it did shift a teeny little bit. Yes, it did. But you don't make breaking news, Erin shifts, because it did. In the overall scheme of things, did it really matter? But there you go. It's been right on track the last 6 runs. Look at the official line here. Little bit of shift in the NHC, yeah. But does it matter? No. Hopefully it continues this pattern, right? What'll be interesting to see how the Haas is adjusted. Let's see what that's done. See, now the most recent run is now to the east. It's correcting itself. The latest Haas B really corrected itself. The dark is the most recent line. The UK is probably right on there. Unless the UK went back to the east a little bit. Euro, almost exact. So yeah, there you go. There's no reason to think other than, and this is a cool site. There's all kinds of stuff on here. All right, let's look long range. That's what everybody wants. I got to actually wear pants today. Keem, they could merge. Yes, that would always be a scenario. But these stronger systems, I've learned, they accelerate around these high pressures off to the east. And the basic flow of the winds really drives our system around it. And strong systems naturally will punch a hole through this gap. See all this blue here? See all this white? There's really no high. We actually have a leftover system here, so the high is not that strong. So Erin will win the battle this time around. Here's the latest GFS. Just kind of showing you everything. Here's that line. So we're going to start talking about what's next, okay? Because I think it's pretty clear what we got on there. But I do want to show you the winds or the waves. Let me show you one more. Well, we'll look at it in a minute. We'll look at the waves in a second, since we're on tropical tidbits right now. So let's just look at the last few runs. But I really want to get into ensembles. But let's just show you the last couple runs of the GFS and the last couple runs of the Euro. So here's the next wave. This would be a week from Friday. Okay. Now what we're watching for, see this H right here? So this high might pivot back around to this high. This is what we would not want to see as far as more of a west track. Last week, I was really concerned about Erin possibly impacting, because history says the high pressure was going to build back in, but that front lingered like I've never seen. Remember that front that brought all the 60-degree weather to Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina? That front hung around so long that it did not allow our high to build back in. Anyway, but here's the latest run. You see a little blue here. Could mean that we're starting to see a curve, but then a high builds back in, and this is the one everybody's sharing, obviously. Yes, it's possible. There's another little one behind it. Remember we talked about the wave train, Bobby? So there's the latest GFS. Let me look at the 00Z. There's kind of the same thing. It's probably going to be completely different. It doesn't even do anything with it. So you got to be careful. Here's a week low. So obviously nobody shares this run. Everybody shares the last run. But this is the same area, Friday, August 29th, that we see on this run, August 29th. 18Z. So yeah. Okay, that's all I'm going to show. Talked about it yesterday. End of the month. Could be seeing something, I put down here because that's where it would be. But this is the 20th. So don't get all worked up on that yet. The Euro is showing. All right, so let's just break it down into timing. Here's the low pressure, the 21st. Okay, go back to the GFS, 21st. 21st. Okay, so let's go back to Euro and go to the 21st. So then there's Erin. So the Euro is showing a week low, and this doesn't look like much, okay, but what it looks like to me is this high is going to drive possibly more of a northwest wave, and this is the wave that the GFS is picking up on, basically. And it's not organizing it, but don't let that fool you. It's the flow we're looking at. Let's look back at 21st on the 12Z. There's a little blob of blue, the 21st, and doesn't develop it. It develops one behind it, but we're worried about the first one. So again, we're not too stressed yet. The timing, though, definitely, we have folks in the islands here. So 21st. Could be watching something. That was a 2, by the way. Well, I'm all messed up. I still didn't get my little pointer. But I did buy a stylus, and I bought a little two-sided stylus holder for the truck. And I put one here, put one there, I put one there. So I can always have a stylus for my touchscreen for my truck. I bought one of those Google or Apple Android Auto devices that allows you to do a lot more than just normal stuff. Like you can pull up YouTube, Netflix, watch Fox Weather, but I need a stylus to touch the screen. But anyway, all right, so there's that. Let's look at a couple more, and then we're going to definitely dive into the ensembles more than anything. Euro AI, wasn't very impressed with this. Had a very west bias, but here is the 21st in the Euro AI, and it's actually curving that one. So no stress at all, except the islands should be watching the next wave in about a week. Last run of the Euro AI 00Z pulls it to the north. But the Aero AI has not done good this year. But the Canadian's done pretty good. Let's see what the Canadian shows. Here's a little dot and follows that, so nothing on that one. So man, that GFS is my best friend because it drives people to the page. And I don't need clicks. I needed clicks 10 years ago. I don't need them anymore. When Shelly started helping me out, we only had 600,000 on Facebook. Now we got like 2.4 million. Hell, man, I might have 1 million TikTok by the end of the week. Heat advisory, Marianne. Yep. Heat's back. Hey, great question, Stephen Green. What's the difference? Basically, they're just, when they run, they're just time stamps. Usually the 12Z's around 6 in the morning. Oh, no, 12Z's. I'm all messed up. 12Z's usually around noon. They run every 6 hours, basically. Typically, in the past, the GFS had better data fed into them on the 00Z and the 12Z. Now, the runs mean a lot now because the hurricane hunters are putting in data that all the models have access to. So the hurricane hunters are giving data as far as upper level humidity, wind, high pressure strengths, all that goes into the computers that are figuring out what Erin's going to do, what Invest 98 is going to do, what this future run might do. But the hurricane hunters real-time data that get fed into the model. So the joke about the 18Z GFS the other day was it always spits out the worst case scenario. Tracy sees me on TikTok. I know, it's nuts. Man, I got like crazy stuff going on over there. And then you always get the one that says I'm a fear monger. I would love a reference. And I will work on my messaging. I just floors me. You know, I think so hard in the words that I type, and how somebody can say that I'm fear mongering is just beyond me. Okay, there's enough of that. Okay, nothing really else I want to show on this. Let's take a look at the high intensity models. These do really good. How strong is Erin going to get? Let's take a look. Holy cow. So look at the size difference. This is a reference size. And again, the only positive about it not strengthening now is if it does near the islands, the feeder bands won't be as bad as they could be. But watch the size. This is the theme all week. Look at the size. It's just going to massively grow, man. Huge. This thing is going to be a monster on satellite. It's going to be classic on satellite. 940 millibar on Wednesday. I will be taking a trip to the beach on Wednesday. I'm going to be doing my live weather hit for Fox Weather from the beach at Daytona. And we'll probably have some big waves over there as this passes by. Haas A showing a 952. Bigger systems have a hard time to maintain too long, and it will take out some of that heat in the ocean. 942. Remember, lower the pressure, the stronger the storm. And the scheme of things, looking at the parent model, these are on tropical tidbits. There's what it's going to look like. Hopefully, there's Bermuda right here. But that's massive, man. It'll be huge. And here's what it'll look like on radar. Let's take a look at let's look at I think we can look at an infrared version. Let me do that. Then we're going to go into ensembles because nobody cares about this anymore. But I do want to look at I was that guy last night at Chili's. I had a meeting, so I was wearing my Galaxy earbuds, which you all suggested, and I love them. I hope I wasn't loud. I was that guy at the bar that was in a 5-way meeting. I hope I wasn't loud. I'm sure I had people looking at me. Let's take a look at infrared, what it might look like. This is 98 actually. Here's kind of what it's going to look like. Hopefully, there we go. Look at that. Look at that! Jeez, that's going to be incredible. If that comes, you imagine that? Look at that. That's real. Look at that eye though. It's expanded. Might go through some eyewall replacements. But that's an estimated look at what we're going to be looking at Wednesday morning. I'm going to be smack dab due west of that. And here's Bermuda, that little dot. So, man, crazy. All right, ensembles. I love ensembles. All right, so we're going to look at SpaghettiOs because you get lost. Here's the problem when you have a lot of systems. If you just looked at the normal spaghetti map, you will see all kinds of stuff, and it's hard to make out what's what because we already have the lines of Erin on there. So we're going to look at SpaghettiOs. Everybody loves SpaghettiOs. I would like to eat some just to bring back memories. Probably not very healthy for you, but either was that third highlight last night. Caribbean. All right, so we are going to look at SpaghettiOs for the 21st. So here we go. Here is the 21st. A couple little dots, not a lot. And there's a few more dots, not a lot. This is the 24th. So there you go. This is the 24th, 25th. I told Julie last night we might be cutting Daytona short. It's Milton. Nope, can't say that. Somebody will say it's fear-mongering. It's the experience of the last time I was at a NASCAR race that I had to come home early to cover it. But there are a few ensembles, okay? This would be Monday. Not a lot, but, just kind of showing you out of the 51 members, there's a few on that next wave. But this is how it all begins. Let's look at the last 12Z run yesterday on the Euro. There's really no reason to think that this wouldn't be something to watch because of the just because. But here's that's some great forecasting right there. There's no reason it won't be something to watch because. But here's a couple more. Timing would be the following weekend, 24th. Cutting Daytona short for me. So not a huge, what could disrupt this from happening? Well, you got Hispaniola, you got cooler waters from Erin. We're not going to look at the dust map anymore, just because this, we're nearing peak season. September 11th is peak season. And the wave's fixing to come off Africa right now. All right, let's look at the last couple GFS ensembles. Oh, I gotta save my voice today. All right, so let's look at some SpaghettiOs. God, I really want... Julie, can you give me some SpaghettiOs, please? God, I just would love to eat them again. All right, here's the 21st. Oh, we have them? Yeah. Really? Where would they be? Oh, we do have SpaghettiOs. Holy cow. Look. I have only 290 calories. I'm getting old. I got to blink a few times. What's unhealthy? Well, there's 12% carb, 33 grams of carbs. Sodium, 26 per. Holy cow! The can. They trick you. They say 1 cup. How about the whole damn can? 47% of your daily allowance in salt in 1 can of this stuff. 21% total carbs. 22% of your daily added sugar. So it's not very healthy. Cholesterol. Jeez. Wow. But man, they taste so good. Oh, and they say it's a healthy kids. Look at healthy. They say it's healthy. But they're oh so good. I'm going to post a picture eating SpaghettiOs. I have not eaten it out of room temperature, Patty. Holy no. No way, no way. Yeah, my wife's awesome, man. She's better than Alexa. I'm like, Julie, SpaghettiOs. They popped up in the cupboard. Pretty awesome. All right. You've been saving them. All right, well, anyway, here's what the GFS is cooking. Notice the pun. By no means is any of this a reason to worry. I mean, we're in August here, and we're going to be tracking things, okay? But GFS is definitely highly aggressive. But we also saw GFS hitting Florida every other run a week ago, too, so. But, anyway, so, again, 21st right here. That's kind of the hot spot we're going to be watching, it looks like. And I teased it yesterday. You saw the post, right? So. What else can we look at? I thought this was interesting. I didn't know we had a new model here. Let me show you what we got. The Graphcast model. This is the... Where the hell did I see it at? Maybe it's only on the Caribbean. Oh, wait, what the hell? All right, I can't find it here. Hold on. Tropical Atlantic. Where did I see? Oh, Graphcast. It's right there in front of me. Graphcast is a Google model. And again, it didn't do too hot with the formation of Erin. But it's showing a weak wave here around a 22nd. But it didn't do very good showing. But what it is showing here, key points. All right, let's say we do have something down here. Look at here. We got a little front coming down. Could allow it to curve. So that's what I mean. We don't get too worked up when we're talking about something that hasn't even left Africa yet. I mean, the scary run that everybody's sharing online is the GFS, which is the GFS. People forget, and the Icon's had a terrible year too, so I've stopped looking at that. I'm really disappointed in the Icon. What is that? Oh, that's heat index. But here's that system that, here, this is it. I mean, high pressure builds in, we have that. So let's look at the steering pattern on the GFS or the Euro, because at Euro, I said it a million times. I learned it from my buddy Dennis. The Euro is one of the best when it comes to upper steering patterns. And here's around the 24th, 25th. So it's showing that low pressure area coming across, showing a little gap, meaning we could, meaning the GFS is seeing something totally different. So we look at other things like more like EPS, which is a blend of models. So what's the EPS showing for the 23rd, 24th, 25th? There's your Bermuda high, maybe a little gap. Not a very strong high. But here's the 23rd, which would allow something to lift a little bit. Does that high build back in? You all know I've been talking about this area this whole year. There's little bumps and then little turns, because we're seeing these fronts coming down. But hey, we'll save that for another day. Definitely nothing. We're just guessing at this point. But I think it's on satellite right now currently. I think it's the wave that's fixed. Well, I'll tell you what, we can definitely see it on. So go to Tropical Tidbits. If you want to see the wave that's being predicted on these maps, let's go to forecast models and go down to Atlantic. We can go to Vorticity and get a very idea where it's coming from. I think it's the one coming off of there right now. So, yep, see it? Boom. So basically, this is where we're at today, the 15th. Little spot here, followed across, and so. But see, it's starting to lift. This is what the GF or Euro is doing. It's showing this little weakness right here. This is exactly what the Euro is showing, allowing a weakness. And then the GFS builds the high back in and it shoves it back that direction. So, it's zero to worry about at this point. At no point this far out. But let's look at Weather Nerds at least and see if we can see it. I think he's got a data type. There it is. That's a good map. Show you what's cooking. There's Invest 98. Sneaky Invest 98. The core is still offshore. And be surprised, this thing is going to bring bad weather all the way to possibly northern or northeastern. The hell? How do you say that? Central Texas northward. Because there's a lot of lightning out there. Holy cow, look at this thing. All this lightning, it's going to slingshot this direction right here as it rotates in. As the core goes north, this stuff's going to end up doing that. So it's interesting. A lot of lightning out there in this thing. Blobby. Oops, that's not it. This one right here. Get loop. Oh, now this thing's going to stay up there. I haven't figured out how to take that off. Now it's all messed up. Zoom out. Ah, my goodness, I'm all clicky out here. Let's do it again. All right, let's zoom in on this thing. And then put it in motion. There you go. Yeah, Ryan, I can't wait. We're going to watch that wave 1,237 days. Captain Crunch, Jay. I remember. Isn't it crazy you can think back to the taste of Captain Crunch? I do right now. Remember, wasn't that the guy with the blue hat? I think. I still remember. God, I remember all that cereal. We must have ate a lot of cereal growing up because I remember every damn flavor. EK the 26th. Holy moly, no way in the world you should be worried about anything that far out. There is another wave, guy, yes. Lots of waves. There's going to be waves. There's going to be a lot of waves out there. Lacey, what's up? Lineman eat them right out of the box, Brent says. Ugh, I cannot eat cold SpaghettiOs, man. Kenneth Glass, good morning. They were crunchy, walleye guy. Hey, I had walleye. Did you all see my post back? Turned political because everything turns political. God, what else was a kid's classic? I remember. My mom used to make apple butter toast. That taste just popped in my mouth. Remember, she would make butter with apple butter. No, jelly. I remember apple jelly toast. Oof, good old days. Now I just try not to eat. The berries were the best. Weren't they pink or red or something? Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Maureen, we haven't talked any weather the whole time. You're going to change it to Snapper Guy. I didn't think it was that great, honestly, the flavor. I'm a really big mahi lover. Cookie Crisp. Amanda. Well, cool. Hey, We got this, man. Caribbean, just take a deep breath. Hopefully this passes to your north. Future radar, just to give you an idea of what's cooking for y'all. If you want to look at some good modeling, go to Tropical Tidbits, and you can click on hurricane, click on HWRF, click on precipitation moisture, and you'll get a radar presentation that will show you possible bands. And there's a couple of them. It doesn't even show you they're so far to the north, but this is Saturday morning. So some of these outer bands might reach. There's some Virgin Island possibilities. This is Saturday. Nothing to stress about. I love tropical feeder bands because it's sunshine, a little bit of rain, then you got sunshine, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a lot of flooding. Hopefully, none of these are going to be close enough to do any rain training. Puerto Rico will have some interesting radar as this thing really starts to develop to your north. Again, the bands are just offshore. This is Puerto Rico down here. That would be more Saturday night. Here's it's gonna be clear. There'll be some feeder bands, but come on, you guys are used to that. That's nothing to talk to. You need the rain down there, honestly. So we got high pressure locked in place. I would assume the rain chances are going to be lower now. Let's take a look at that. I don't even worry about weather other than this time of year because it can rain anytime, any place, and you just don't know. We've had these weird popcorn storms here about midday around me, and they there's high pressure. You know how you know there's high pressure? No, you know how there's high pressure. Storm clouds go up, they rain, they're gone within 5 minutes because the atmosphere is hot, dry, not a lot of moisture. Here's your daily rainfall for today. Obviously, Texas is tricky because the storm is not really on radar. Here's tomorrow. Not a lot. High pressure down. Here comes the rain of Erin. And that actually is going to pull the rain away from Florida. That high pressure is blocking Erin. And here's that front. A week from now that actually is more of a front range than anything else. So, yeah. Julie says I blink a lot. So I got to be conscious of that. Jennifer, the nose picker. What's good, Central Florida? Yeah, Bobby, completely. You saw the satellite of the Texas blob. It's interesting. What defines a tropical system, though, it has to have some sort of a closed low. I do have the links to Tropical Tidbits up, too, by the way, if you want to see the recon missions right here. You click on that, and it goes to Levi's site. You can see the current Texas invest going on right now. And there might be some sort of a little closed low right here, but look at this. This is the lower Texas, but maybe some lower level circulation. Interesting. What's the next name on the list there, Shelly? But here's some big winds out here, which are actually going to be well to the north. Hurricane hunters are out there currently right now. Everybody look up and smile. Hey. Oh, it might be a little closed low, though. I don't know. That's interesting. I mean, if you look at the satellite maps and the wind maps, let's see if there's been a recent ASCAT pass. I mean, if we did have a low, it'd be right on the coast. Let's see. This is a good site. Cyclonic weather. And I can't remember where the model data right here. Why is it so zoomed up here? Model data. Oh, man, I can never remember. ASCAT, there it is. All right, then we picked a region. And there's no recent passes. No, there was right here, though. That one might have showed it. No, it didn't. What the hell is that? That's not what I clicked on. Is it? Oh, it is. Maybe. Oh, maybe I put. Oh, what am I doing here? I don't know. Oh, I can just use the arrow. That's pretty neat. Well, now, oh, these are the different regions. Hold on a minute. I clicked that. I was in the wrong region. I talk a lot. I really don't have a good click on it. These are satellite snapshots, so that one might have showed it, but I don't see it. But they're out there flying around right now, so who knows what they're going to find. These little things spin up fast. Well, I hope you enjoyed the content. Hope you learned a little something. We all learn together. We can skip the winter, red, blue. Oh, there you go. Diamond says San Juan needs water and toilet paper. How about that? But if you might need water, hopefully you get some rain, right? Biscuits and gravy. Oh my God, are we hungry? Hey, what's the Dominican Republic in store for? Just a few passing rain showers, maybe Sunday. The eye storm, Ryan. Correct. Something about the eye. The M lately too. We had Michael was replaced by Milton. That's retired. So we've had the two last cycles of Michael Dust Satellite shows the next wave. Jose, yeah, let's take a look then. I'm glad you brought that up. We saw how it didn't affect Erin, and I think that's because of the moisture levels, the humidity. It was tapping into that upper water vapor imagery that we saw. Man, I'd love to heat up that can of SpaghettiOs right now. It's so hard. I told Julie to lock the cabinets up tonight. All right, here's the, well, there's a lot of dust, but here's a gap possibly. Is this what you're talking about, Jose? This is the 22nd. And one thing I think Bobby mentioned, the dust map does a good job to kind of show you the flow, steering maps, and you can kind of see this lift. Oh, I did want to share one more thing. This got posted yesterday. We got a new La Niña Enzo outlook, and it's actually now forecast to be in La Niña. We saw the trend coming, but September, October, November, we're going to be in La Niña. Typically that produces more storms because we have less wind shear across the Caribbean, and that, not to use adjectives, but that could be significant because September, October, mainly late September, but mainly October, you watch the Western Caribbean. So many storms come up from that direction. So if we don't have a lot of wind shear down there because of this, could be a back-ended season. That's what my post meant yesterday. And nobody knows. But let's look at some long-range modeling here with temperatures. SIPS model. Let's look at... So sea surface temperature anomalies for October are still expected to be above normal. Notice the Pacific's cooler, but the Atlantic's warmer. October on the CFS model also showing warmer average temperatures in October. Not so much Western Caribbean, but still in the Gulf. So waters are going to be above normal leading into October. Precipitation's always hit or miss. There's October for precipitation. There's November. I don't really like these too much, but it is showing dry, which is good. But here's October. Moisture means we could have spawning systems. Man, I'm glad this Google ad is just a shirt because I had a weird one today. It made absolutely no sense. They feed off your IP address. Were you Googling like Pepto-Bismol the other day? Julie?
No.
When your stomach wasn't feeling good, did you Google anything about?
No.
Oh, she did. Yeah. Backloaded, Bobby. There you go, backloaded. I don't know what I even said. Well, hey, it's always a great time. Bobby, we sent you an invite to the Brew Crew now. You can pop over there anytime. You probably forgot. You can keep the party going. All right. Well, anyway, I hope you gathered some good information. Again, welcome to all the new folks. Appreciate it. We're not only on Facebook, we're also YouTube, X, Instagram, and TikTok. So find me somewhere. And have a great weekend. We'll be live Monday. If anything changes tomorrow, we go live on the weekends if we need to. But we've always done Monday through Friday, and then if anything pops up, but unless there's anything sneaky, I'll be doing another one of my. I might do a little video now, a daily morning video that I'm because there's people. Yesterday I did an afternoon one. They're like, we waited all day, so I'm going to do one now. And that's it. All right. So we will see you tomorrow or Monday. All right. Have a great weekend. We got nothing going on, do we? I don't know what we're going to do.